And there's also like the other reverse situation where instead of making a comeback, you're up, you're holding off a lead. For example, it could be 14-13, 14-10, 10-3. Like, what is your mindset and mentality to close out the bout strong and make sure that you retain the lead?
Especially if it begins to go south. And I feel like that is the scenario that a lot of people don't practice. And I've lost, I've won many bouts on a comeback, but I've also lost a lot of very important bouts where I was up. It got to the final minute. My opponent was like, I'm done. Like he's ducked too many times. I can't handle the counterattack. Screw everything. And they start acting crazy. They give me the Hungarian shuffle or something. They run at me. And once they sort of throw that out, it's just like then the lead starts, eating away. And suddenly like up 14-9 turns into now it's 14-13. Now it's overtime. How do you handle when the big leads like just disappeared?
That's harder, obviously, for most people. It's also harder for me. I think it goes back to trust and to being smart. I have a lot of ways that I stop. When this starts to happen, I have trained and I've practiced how I stop that momentum. So when that starts to happen, there are a few things I do. Some of them are like the classic would be tying your shoe, right? Like everyone does that or whatever.
Gain time, slow down the bow. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Like stopping, at least trying to stop time a little bit, maybe even annoy them a little bit on purpose. Like try to just kind of stop that momentum and stop that time that, especially in Sabre, is so crucial and critical, right? Think to what's going on. I think... And again, this is going to go back, it's going to sound like a broken record, Jacob, but like you practice this stuff, right? You practice when someone changes on you. How do you change yourself or not, right? How do you adjust? Practice adjusting. I think one kind of silly drill, but that like really used to help me was I had a coach, that same coach, who told me I needed to like chill out and be okay with just hitting people. That was Eric Momberg, by the way, who won like Coach of the Year or something this year, I think, in like the USFA or anyways. He was like, he would always try to kind of throw different things at me. Like halfway through the bout, he'd be like, the rules have changed. Now the rules are this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be like, but this happens all the time with, not with Epee, but with referees in Sabre. Referees will be totally fine, and then they'll get nervous, or they'll start to cheat, or whatever, whatever the reason is, things change. Or your opponent starts to, figure out what you're doing. And so constantly changing that and constantly have to practice changing that under pressure is really important. And I think that has helped me learn these skills, which are how to stop the bout, how to calm down, walk to the end of the strip and back. I used to get distracted when this started to happen, and I started to get emotional. When I was younger, I used to just like go blank and start doing the same action over and over and over and over. And now, now I hear young people talk about that same thing, and I think that's pretty common. Yes. I had to do things that like write this on my glove. Like I liked big nerd, liked Star Wars, so I would write "Stay on Target," from, I don't know if y'all have seen the old Star Wars, but "Stay on Target" on my glove. You'd create these mental habits, right? That would be like, how can I break myself out of this? Yes, they figured something out, but I'm also smart. I've done this for hours. I've practiced this, what is the answer? And you start to build those answers also into your arsenal of fencing, right? Which are like different preparations. Anyways, this is getting a little bit too specific, but I think that like really learning to calm yourself down and break up their momentum and give yourself that time to think and react is important. And always know that even if they hit you again, that doesn't mean it's over. That means you just have more information.